Remember that first phone call from Ghostface and Scream? The franchise has definitely changed a lot since then, with different motives, tones, and characters, but it's still one of the most loved franchises in all of horror. So today, I'm talking about the evolution of the Scream franchise. The original movie, Scream, was released on December 20th, 1996, and it grossed over $176 million at the worldwide box office. It was a worldwide phenomenon, with the film being hailed as a masterpiece which redefined the horror genre, and it definitely deserves the praise. Following the story of Sidney Prescott, a high schooler in the small town of Woodsboro, California, whose mother was murdered a year earlier as she's tormented by a duo of killers in the Ghostface costume. She grows suspicious of everyone around her, and it all culminates at a party at her friend Stu's house, where after more killings, it's revealed that her boyfriend Billy Loomis and his friend Stu Marker were the ones behind the killings. They had also murdered Sidney's mother and framed it on another man, Colton Wary. This is all because Sidney's mother had an affair with Billy's dad, which led to the end of their parents' marriage. And Stu, well...
peer pressure. I'm far too sensitive.
At least he is something. In the end, Stu is supposedly killed when a TV lands on his head, electrocuting him. And Billy is stabbed. However, in Randy's words...
Careful. This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare.
Billy is then shot and the movie ends. The original film is directed by the legendary director Wes Craven and written by Kevin Williamson. The film balances an eerie and mysterious tone with comedic moments that all really works well. The comedy in the movie is specifically meta commentary, where the movie would make fun of and reference other horror movies. The film itself even took inspiration from films like Halloween, Friday the 13th, and A Nightmare on Elm Street. As I said earlier, the film was a massive success and it redefined the horror genre, with several films inspired by its teen-oriented and meta-commentary aspects, like I Know What You Did Last Summer, Urban Legend, and The Faculty. It was also due to this success that a sequel was fast-tracked. Scream 2 released on December 12, 1997, less than a year after the original film. However, that short time frame did not impact its quality. The film once again follows Sidney Prescott as she's now in college, accompanied by Randy as a new series of killings begin. Like the original film, Sidney grows suspicious of those around her, as more bodies begin to drop, including Randy, RIP. Dewey also once again gets attacked, before it's revealed that it was Mickey who wanted fame for his killings, and also Debbie Salt. Wait, that isn't right. Who was it again?
Billy's mother!
Oh yeah, that's it. Anyway, Mrs. Loomis dies after she's shot by Colton Wary, the man originally accused of Sidney's mother's killings, and Mickey is then shot several times by Sidney and Gail. Scream 2 grossed $172 million at the worldwide box office, and once again maintained the meta-comedic tone of the original film. The film did, however, up the stakes for the original film, especially with the brutality, as this film has some brutal kills, and they're all really good. The film also maintains the same eerie mystery aspect the original had, however, the next one would not. Scream 3 released on February 4, 2000, and follows Sidney Prescott trying to get on with her life as another series of Ghostface killings begin, this time in Hollywood. The film differs from the other films by having a much more comedic tone, as some of the characters are outright dumb. The film's original script was also leaked, so several rewrites had to be done, which led to the killer being... Who the fuck is this guy?
Roman Bridger, director. And brother.
Yeah, the killer is revealed to be Roman, Sidney's half-brother, from when her mum spent time in Hollywood under a different name. Anyway, in the end, Roman, who earlier in the film somehow faked his death, is shot by Dewey and is killed. Scream 3 definitely isn't the best in the franchise, but it isn't bad either. It has some very weird aspects, especially with it feeling unfinished and confusing. Especially since this is the only Scream movie with one killer. Although there has been several theories that the other killer was Angelina, the actress who plays Sidney in the movie, or a surviving Stu Marker. Now, there is one very big thing that Scream 3 changes from the other entries, and that is that Ghostface somehow has this magical voice changer where they can sound like anyone they want, and now it is very confusing to me how they were able to have this technology back in like the year 2000, but at the end of the day, it's a movie. It doesn't really make much sense in the context of the movie, and this thing is literally never used again by any other Ghostfaces, but oh well. The film's tone also differs a lot, with a lot more comedic moments and emotional and eerie moments, leaving the film feeling like the black sheep of the franchise. The Scream franchise would then lay dormant for the next 10 years, until Scream 4, which released on April 15, 2011. And it follows Sidney Prescott returning to Woodsboro to visit family, and promote her new book. She's once again accompanied by her now married Gail Weathers and Sheriff Dewey Riley. And since Sydney's back in town, a whole new series of Ghostface killings must follow because it's basically the law at this point that if Sydney is somewhere, there has to be a Ghostface killing. This film has some of the most brutal killings in all of Scream, and was also the final Scream film director Wes Craven worked on before he sadly passed away in 2015. In the end, the killers are revealed as Charlie and Jill, Sydney's cousin, who wants the fame that she has. Jill is also insane. There is an amazing moment where it seems like she'll get away with it all. She even kills Charlie, but in the end she is electrocuted and then shot by Sydney. Scream 4 grossed only $97 million at the worldwide box office and brought the franchise back for a whole new generation, with its original meta-comedy tone while maintaining some of the horror aspects that were definitely lacking in Scream 3. This film was originally set to be the start of a new trilogy, however, after Wes Craven's death, the franchise would lay dormant once again. Hey you! Yeah you! Are you enjoying this video? If you are, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because it really helps me out. Also, be sure to let me know what you guys would like to see in future videos. Anyway, back to the video. In the late 2010s and 2020s, a new form of horror movies were exploding, requels, where a movie would be a direct sequel to the original and ignore the rest of them. Although not a new trend at all, having been done several times throughout other franchises, it was popularized by the recent Halloween trilogy, and as such, Scream had to comment on it. Scream 2022, also known as Scream 5, or 5 Cream, released on January 14, 2022, and it changed the franchise forever. The film differs from the others by following a new lead, Sam Carpenter, the until now unknown daughter of Billy Loomis. Her and her younger sister Tara and friends are thrown into chaos by a new series of Ghostface killings. However, the film isn't only new characters, as they do call in the original characters to help them, with Dewey sadly dying at the hands of Ghostface. It all culminates at a party at Stu Marker's old house, now owned by one of the other characters, where it's revealed that Amber and Sam's boyfriend Richie, who are secretly lovers, are big fans of stab movies, and they hate how bad the franchise has gotten, so they want to do a new series of Ghostface killings to make the franchise better, which, you know, that's fair enough. In the end, Richie is stabbed a bajillion times by Sam, and Amber is set ablaze in the kitchen before getting shot by Tara. Scream 2022 under 137 million worldwide. And similar to Scream 4, revitalized the franchise for a whole new generation. Another thing that really differs from the other Scream movies in this movie is that Sam sees a ghost of her father, Billy Loomis, which I'm personally not the biggest fan of, but there's a big aspect of this movie with her being Billy Loomis' daughter, so obviously they had to have some way to get him back. However, behind the scenes there were already problems. Just as Scream 6 was announced, it was also announced that Neve Campbell was not returned to play Sidney Prescott in the new film due to a pay-per-view. Scream 6 released on March 10, 2023, and once again follows Sam, Tara, and friends as they are hunted by Ghostface. This time the film takes place in New York, as the younger members of the group are now in college, and they've made new friends. The film also sees the return of Kirby from Scream 4, since she was basically the Randy of that movie. Similarly to Scream 4, this film has a very brutal Ghostface, and some interesting kills, like Ghostface's first use of a gun. It also has a different mask from the others, an aged Ghostface mask. This film also differs from the others with the killers, as in the end it's revealed that there were 3 different Ghostface killers: Detective Bailey and his kids Quinn Bailey and Ethan Laundrie. It's also revealed that they're relatives of Richie, and they want revenge on Sam for killing him in Scream 5. In the end, they're all killed as per usual, and Sam and Tara live another day. After the release of Scream 6, it was announced that Melissa Barrera had been let go from the franchise, and that they are still working on the 7th entry, so without new characters, what's next for Scream and Woodsboro? Well, it's not even going to be in Woodsboro, because Scream 7 is filmed and ready for release, with a teaser rumored to be releasing soon in theaters. The film is going to focus once again on Sidney Prescott and her family in a new town called Pine Grove, Indiana. The film is rumored to have way more screen time for Sidney and Gail, along with several past Ghostfaces allegedly returning. Now, I think that AI will be a huge part of the storyline, not, them using AI in the movie, as in, them using AI in the actual movie, not for the movie. It hasn't been confirmed, but I do think that Ghostface is probably going to be using an AI voice changer when he calls people. As for now, I'm very excited for Scream 7 and where the franchise has to go next, and what changes it will bring, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and have a good one.